Okay, we have about 10 million households in the United States where people are working and they can't get a checking account. Can't get a checking account because their credit scores are bad, because their income is too low. Typically, it's the latter, but the two tend to go together. And so in order to cash their paychecks, they have to go to these payday lending places, these check cashing places, which charge up to 900% interest if they do it right. I mean, it's mind-boggling, and charge huge fees. It's an industry that seems to be blowing off about $6 billion a year in profits, all taken from poor people, the working poor in the United States. So Senator Sanders and others have proposed, hey, let's let the post office offer checking accounts and cash checks for people who are low income and don't qualify for commercial banking. The commercial banks literally don't want their business. It's not profitable. So if the commercial banks literally don't want their business, we'll provide them with the services that they need. And we'll do it at a fraction of what these predators do. And that will help the United States. It'll help the post office, and it'll help these people. What's wrong with that? Neil McCabe would know. My call screen software has gone nuts again. I just clicked that. Neil, are you there? No? Okay, I clicked on it. That time it connected. Neil.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm fine. So what's wrong with this? By the way, I should say conservative columnist with townhall.com, editor of the Washington Mercury news site, thewashingtonmercury.com. What am I missing here, Neil?
Well, I think you were a little contradictory in your introduction. You said that there were $6 billion in profits, but there weren't enough profits for the banks to be interested. And so I was a little confused. I mean, I'm not confused.
Well, let me rephrase that then. The banks can't do what the payday lending people do by law because the law prevents banks from ripping us off. It doesn't prevent the payday lenders and pawn shops from ripping us off. And so you'd have to change the law to allow banks to completely rip off anybody if you wanted the banks to get into this business in a big way. But according to who was it? Richard Eskow yesterday, who used to work on Wall Street, the banks hold a fair amount of stock in these companies. They know that it's good business, but they can't own the companies because they're violating banking laws.
Well, I think the first thing is to get the government out of the way and deregulate whatever
So just let the big banks rip off poor people however they want.
Well, I'm not sure that they're being ripped off. I mean, these people need a service and it's being provided. I know that there's been a war on the payday lenders for a while. There's a number of progressive groups that have been going after the payday lenders. And
the payday lenders are declaring war on poor people, Neil. Why? We're not. This isn't a war on payday lenders. It is a defensive action for low-income Americans. We're trying. Low-income Americans are protesting. They're saying enough already.
We have no alternative because of the regulations on regular sort of above board, what you might call above board banking. They have no choice. It's regulations, government regulations, that have created this market. Because if there's a free market, then there would be gradations of services, gradations of fees.
No, there's no such thing as a free market. Free markets are what billionaires and their shills say when they want there to be no rules on how badly they can rip people off. There is no such thing as a free market. You know it, Neil. Markets are created by governments. We provide the money, we provide the rules, we provide the court system to.
I've been buying laptops for a long time, and I know that laptops keep getting cheaper and they keep getting better. And the government doesn't have a laptop agency.
The government has a lot to do with that. The laptops, pretty much the integrated circuit was a result of government research. The transistor was the result of government research. The internet was entirely government funded. Your laptop has a lot more government in it than you think.
All right.
But my point was that
I'm sorry.
My point was that the government banking regulations that you say we should do away with. Right now, they don't. They don't protect poor people because the banks say, okay, at this price, I'm not going to do business with poor people. They protect you and me. You want to do away with those?
But if someone needs a check cash, what are they going to do?
Well, they can go to one of these check cashing places and pay a $25 fee to cash a $150 check. So they can pay a 20% fee, or they can't do much, which is why the post office should be able to cash their check.
Well, first of all, I think there just has to be a free market solution to this check cash.
There's no such thing as a free market, Neil. That's why there isn't a free market solution.
But the other half, your solution is the post office, which is crazy because the post office is one of the worst government agencies we have, especially when it comes to
Post office is one of the best and most beloved government agencies we have. It's just the largest unionized employer in America. That's why conservatives hate it.
I'm telling you, for 4 years, I owned a newspaper in North Cambridge, Massachusetts. I used the post office for all my issues. I dealt with those people. I dealt with the carriers. And it's like I'm telling you, their customer service is horrendous. And their attitude is contemptuous to people who are trying to do business with them.
Neil, okay, if we're going to do dueling anecdotes, from 1987 until 1996, when we sold the business, Louise and I owned a company called Chandler McDonald Stout Schneiderman and Poe Inc. It's an advertising agency in Atlanta. We did business under the name of the Newsletter Factory. We did on average around 180 seminars a year. We taught seminars all over the country, exclusively for big corporations and government agencies on how to do marketing, advertising, and corporate communications. We dropped on average 2 million pieces of mail a year, every year for 10 years. That dwarfs what I did. I think I've done probably more business with the post office than, anybody within, well, I was going to say anybody within 5 blocks of me, but the Republican building is a block away, so the Heritage Foundation's next door. But I've done business with the post office. There was never any problem. I don't get it.
No, I have problems where.
Okay, so you had a bad post office. I mean, this is dueling anecdotes. That doesn't address the fact that if you've got a capitalist system and you want to keep your capitalist system, there's a fundamental question that we have to answer. You and I have to answer this, Neil. What do we do with those people who are falling through the cracks because capitalism does not serve their needs and there's no way for capitalism to serve their needs? Isn't that the appropriate role of government?
When Walmart offered to open its own low-cost, banking for those people, you supported it, right?
No.
Okay. So when the free market comes up with solutions,
it's not the free market. Walmart is a market monopoly. It's as far from the free market as you can get.
I mean, so the two problems is, one, there are private sector solutions that are being ignored or thwarted. And number two, we don't.
Those private sector solutions are exploitative. Just because the payday loan business is going to go from a guy with I don't know which ethnic group to offend here, so I probably shouldn't say it. My original was some guy named Guido or whatever. But just because your payday loan check cashing is going from a small time crook who's got a payday loan business is amazingly profitable to a big time crook at Walmart who's making slightly less profit doesn't mean you're not still being screwed.
And we don't want to do anything to perpetuate the post office. We want to get rid of the post office.
Who wants to get rid of the post office?
Well, there's parts of the post office you might want to save. You may want to break up.
How about saving the whole thing?
Back office. I would take their retail operation and I would privatize it and sell it off tomorrow.
That's crazy.
No, it's not crazy.
It's one of the
post office guy. At UPS, the guy who makes $10 at UPS does the same job as a guy at the post office who makes $100,000.
No, he doesn't do the same job. They don't walk the routes. They don't get to know the community. They're not out there literally at your house every day checking on you. They don't do last mile. UPS wouldn't exist without the post office, or at least they wouldn't deliver to rural areas.
Walmart and other companies have tried to address this, and they've been thwarted, Tom. We should give them a chance before we give the post office a chance.
All right. And on my side, I'm in favor of the post office. Neil McCabe. Thank you, Neil. Hang on just a second.